Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the New England Patriots and the Oakland Raiders. The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Leopard! No. Check. Patriot!
They run with Harris. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. That second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Detroit!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it, and he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Very good starting position for the Patriot offense as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 26 yards. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they'll run it here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. He'll buy some time right. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the...
And a loose football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come. Charles, this morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. Josh Jones in on the stop.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll run for the first time with Sony Michel. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
They're going to look to throw. Rolling to his right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Let's go! 190! 190! Hut! Hut!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. And the defense loses him. It's complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Part I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They'll toss to Harris. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A really nice gain at 25 yards. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down.
Here we go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will make our score 9-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders, and even 40 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more of the AFC Championship game after this. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Harris. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half. And
all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. As his guys are in for 6, and the Raiders have cut it back to within a score.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays. run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
23 yards on the play. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. 20! He's got his man on the crossing route. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there just before halftime. 44 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Trying to pound it in here with Michelle. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. And they will run it with Michelle. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And Boswell's kick is good. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line. Let's get back to it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They start the second half with Michelle on the ground. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Flex round.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And they'll go on the ground. Finds a seam inside the 40. And down right around the 37. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Toss. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll set up a throw. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he goes down. It's a Patriot sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they'll run it here. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. The All-Pro in two positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
But he was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Now a first down carry. It's Michel. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back now in the East Bay. We get set for the fourth quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. On second down, Michel. And he'll take this one down to the 36. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now.
What an advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that now makes this a 15-7 game. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots. You're got a man. It's caught inside the 10. They give him a gain of 37. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders move back within a couple of the lead. And now the Raiders will face an important two-point conversion attempt here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out come the Patriots. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
This drive starts out on the ground with Michel. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
Flex round! Flex round! Come on, let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And this will be incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw here. And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out.
Lucky 56.
Harris starts the drive on the ground, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Lucky 56.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Now a toss play. It's Harris. And some room to work. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now here's a whistle as flags come in. And we'll check out the call. So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15.
Lucky 56.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12. This is Harris. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hammond. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Time for a break. Back to wrap up the AFC Championship game after this. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And this one is right through. And they have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So the Patriots coming out now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
He'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete to QT. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Ohio. 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 Come on, let's go.
He's back to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to let it fly. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
New England on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 14.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Spinning past him. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation. Late game.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Gun, 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 gun.
This is Harris. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They run again with Harris. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you just...
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Back to throw. Being chased out left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. New England on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio! Ohio!
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And that last penalty makes his third down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this will be caught at the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. Now it's Chris Boswell on for the field goal try. This is a 26-yard attempt. And the kick here is good. So add 3 to the total, but they're still coming up well short. And that is how this one comes to an end. And with this win and an AFC championship, they have reached the most hallowed ground in all of sports.
That means they are the best in their conference. What an incredible feeling for this team to go through the entire season and come out on top and now go to the Super Bowl for the right to be called world champion.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.